does Disney do it? What keeps parkgoers coming back year after year to experience the same attractions over and over again? Aside from special events, merchandise, and ever-expanding and evolving parks, I think the main reason is the value of rewriting. No matter how many times you go through the same attraction, you find something new about it. Even the tiniest prop can change your experience. Many attractions rely on this, but perhaps none more do than the Haunted Mansion. I don't know or even want to know how many times I've been on this ride, but I'm still finding new things. So, why not talk about them? Some of these will be hidden, while others are more widely known. Also, I'll be mostly talking about the Walt Disney World Mansion because it's the one I know best, and in my opinion, it's the best one, don't at me. But enough semantics. Let's enter the moldering sanctums of the spirit realm once more to find what you missed on the Haunted Mansion. The story for the attraction begins before you even enter the queue. There's a carriage house sitting just outside the mansion's entrance. I think it's stroller parking nowadays. Pinned to the wall near the ceiling are a series of horseshoes. If you watched my Big Thunder Mountain video, you know that according to superstitions, horseshoes on a wall ward off evil. Unfortunately for the mansion, the horseshoes are hanging down, an omen that their luck had run out. As you continue through the queue, stop before you enter the foyer. If you look past the tombstones named for men and women who worked on the attraction, we can talk about that some other day, you'll find some tombstones that name characters inside the mansion. Bartholomew Gore from Kate Anderson's Story for the Mansion, Beauregard the Butler from the Anderson Story, who I talked about in my Ghost Host video, Ezra and Gus, 2/3 of the Hitchhiking Ghosts, Cousin Algernon and Ned Nubb, 2 of the Phantom 5, the singing bust in the graveyard scene, and Phineas Pock, a name that has been associated with a lot of ghosts over the years. Skipping ahead, we enter the loading zone. Take a look around as you're waiting for your doom buggy. It's pretty dark in there, so it can be a little hard to see, but you'll find pieces of mansion history on the walls around you. When the ride opened, the portrait hallway used to house paintings whose eyes followed your every movements. A quick rundown of them all. The Opera Glass Lady, Dracula, The Couple, Jack the Ripper, The Witch of Walpurgis, The Hatchet Man, The Gorgon, The Arsonist, December, The Ogre, and The Mariner. When the scene was replaced with the new gallery of changing portraits, similar to Disneyland's mansion, the Sinister 11, as these were called, were placed in the loading zone, save for 2. The Couple can be found next to a floating candelabrum before the changing portrait gallery, and the Opera Glass Lady can be found near the end of the ballroom scene right before the entrance to the attic. The Gorgon was removed entirely as the changing portrait gallery made her redundant. Another portrait of the Hatchet Man can be found in the corridor doors, and it's implied that he's the ghost house. But you already know that if you watch my videos. Okay, last plug, I promise. This next detail can be easy to miss as you go by it pretty quickly. As you leave the endless staircase, look at the bottom left-hand side. Several pairs of glowing eyes are blinking up at you, and they seamlessly transition into the designs on the wall. It echoes what Tony Baxter said here.
When I'm asked, well, count out the 999 happy haunts, we're going to come up short if we're talking about audio animatronics and illusion. So then I tell everyone, well, have you counted all the faces in the wallpaper? And they go, well, no. And I said, okay, there's your 999.
As Madame Leota practices her incantations, she has a book in front of her. The page it's turned to includes a spell to bring your eyes and ears one who is bound in limbo. Underneath it are the words Kree, Kruv, Virgo, Kaibo, Kaito, Kree, a reference to 1968's Blackbeard's Ghost, and Leota's spells in the scene. The page next to it features a picture of death, with the words Memento Mori written on top of it. Remember you will die in Latin. Death itself is modeled after the mold used for Ezra, the Hitchhiking Ghost, and the original Hatbox Ghost. Molds for animatronics can be very expensive to produce. So, to cut costs, many of them are recycled and given new costumes, hair, etc. to create different characters. There are many molds in the mansion shared with other attractions, but my favorite one to point out is in the ballroom. Near the crashed hearse, there's an old woman in a rocking chair. This is the exact same model as the grandmother in Carousel of Progress. The outfits are pretty similar as well. Is this why the future grandma looks so different in the final scene? Conspiracy theorists, go nuts. We should all be pretty well acquainted with the story of Constance and her husbands at this point. There's an interesting detail hidden in the attic that drives the point home even further. Near the end of the scene, on the right side, there is a hat rack. On it, there are 5 hats. Sitting behind them are 5 hat boxes. Hiding the evidence? Sentimental memorabilia? A reference to a lost haunt? All of the above? It's anyone's guess. The Hitchhiking Ghosts are a memorable trio of characters, but did you know one of them can be spotted earlier? Gus, the short, bearded prisoner, is in the graveyard scene, singing next to the knight, the executioner, and the opera singers. He's got quick little legs to get from there to the mausoleum that quickly. The lawn next to the mansion was just a piece of grass for many years. It wasn't until years later that the free real estate was taken advantage of, and a pet cemetery was placed there, similar to Disneyland's. The graves featured here include a duck named Waddle, a dog named Rover, another Carousel of Progress victim, a snake named Eric, a poodle named Maisie, a cat named Whiskers, a cockatoo named Jed, and a monkey. The monkey doesn't have a name. But there is one that should not be overlooked. If you look all the way in the back, you'll find a statue of one rascally amphibian. That is J. Thaddeus Toad from The Wind in the Willows. Park fans will better recognize him from the dark ride, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Spoilers, the ride ends with him dying and going to hell. He is memorialized here. Also, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride was an opening day attraction at the Magic Kingdom, but closed several years ago, so it's probably a tribute to that too. And those are just a few things you might have missed on the Haunted Mansion, but it certainly isn't everything. So, that's where I pass the question off to you. What is your favorite hidden detail in the Haunted Mansion? Or any Disney attraction for that matter. Whatever you're thinking, let me know down in the comments. And hey, if I get enough of them, I might make a part 2. But, that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.